Okay, here's a quick video, a demo of the Kenmore Ultra Stitch. This machine is it's a vintage 1970s, I believe, machine. It is primarily metal. I'd say equivalent to the current Singer heavy duty model, which actually still has plastic in it. So it's not 100% metal geared machine, but it is still what I would consider a pretty heavy duty machine. It beats any current plastic model out there. So let's just go over the basics. It has 6 stitches. It has buttonholes. It allows you to use a double needle, which is super convenient to do decorative stitches, to do stretch stitches, to sew on elastic, things like that. You could do lingerie. We have an on and off button, very simple. The condition of this machine, it is a vintage machine, but aside from that, it's almost brand new. Mechanically, it's actually almost brand new. I opened the machine up and you can see pictures of it inside just to do, the basic service that I usually do. It's incredible. It's like the gears were never even run, which kind of makes me sad because, somebody just didn't love it enough. So I hope whoever gets it actually uses it and loves it. I'm a very big fan of machines, and I feel like each one of them has its own personality. So this one can make so many beautiful things. Okay, so let's go through the basic usage. This is your pressure of your foot, and that's it is a free arm machine, so this is kind of cool. This pops in, and this pops right out. So, and you want to access your bobbin that way. So remember, when you're putting this in, don't put it in with your leg out. You first want to pop it in, and then pop your leg out to balance it. And that gives you great support. Yeah, it's easier to do it that way. Okay, so in the free arm, it's very convenient for doing jeans, for doing shirts, cuffs, things like that. You can't do that in a lot of the vintage machines. Okay, so let's get our pressure to about mid-range. It allows double needles, so you have 2 holders right here if you're going to use a double needle, and you have 2 spool holders, which is convenient. So you thread through here, bypass this. This is for the bobbin winder, so do not go into that. So you just go around this, down as usual, and then up until you hit your tension spring. There you go. And then into your take-up lever. You're right through your arm right there. Of course, down again and into this little hole and into your needle. Your needle is positioned from front to back, so it's flat up against the bar. Okay, so let's do an easy quick demo of just some basic cotton. So I'm going to switch to the straight stitch. Oh, and your length is actually over here on the right. So this is your shortest, this is your longest, and you're going to need your shortest, your green range to do your buttonholes, your yellow range over here to do your decorative stitches, and it kind of tells you which stitch is best in which section. So that's pretty cool, color-wise. Okay, so we'll go to just basic straight stitch. It's actually a very fast machine, by the way. I'm gonna go to like mid-range so you can just see the stitch. There's a hair on it, sorry about that. Okay, so there we go. It's the beautiful thing with Kenmore's. I'm gonna reduce my tension because you can see I'm pulling a little bit because it's a very thin fabric. So you do have to adjust the tension accordingly. There we go, much flatter and more beautiful. Kenmore's have a really precise straight stitch, which I love. So if you're doing something that's lingerie, something beautiful, something that you really want to top stitch, Kenmore is the way to go. It has a perfect line. Look how smooth that is. A lot of the machines, especially older ones too, they tend to wobble just a bit. But these ones, they're just perfectly intact. Okay, so let's go to our fastest so you can see how wide and fast that stitch is. Okay, So that's our widest position, and that is our fastest. See, again, because I'm going bigger now, I would reduce my tension a little bit more, and you may want to reduce your tension in the bobbin. Okay, so now we're going to go to basic zigzag. It's kind of wave. Okay, we're going to go to a wider zigzag. We're going to go to an even wider zigzag. And then we're going to go to our widest position. This one has a really great wide zigzag. Perfect for sewing on elastic, on undergarments. I make a lot of lingerie, which is why I keep referencing it. But you need that if you're going to be sewing on something to the edge of pants, making baby clothes. It's a great thing to use it for. Okay, and the best part, the most important part, if you're making swimwear, if you're making stretch fabrics, zigzags and your 3-step zigzag are vital. You have to have a 3-step zigzag. It is the most effective and attractive stitch if you're going to be sewing on elastic to things. And I will actually show you an example, because when you use just a plain zigzag and you're not hiding it, its surface, it still doesn't have the same effect. But when you're using a 3-step, I will actually show you. I don't use this machine. We use industrial machines. But here is how we sew on the elastic. So we top stitch it after it goes on with our overlock. And you can see how secure and just how attractive that edging is. So for lingerie, swimwear, this is the way to go. Oh, I'm running out of thread. So sorry. My little tiny spool. I use little spools in my demos. Okay, here. It got a little stuck. Get in there. Okay. All right, so let's do our decorative. I can't remember what this stitch is called, but it's really cool. It basically goes back and forth. You see that? Spectacular. I love it. And this one you're going to need your double needle for, but it is a doubled up stitch also, or triple, I believe. These are your buttonholes. So we're going to go to our green position all the way at the bottom, and we'll start making a little buttonhole. So buttonhole always starts backwards, then goes to the back piece. Then you're going to go to the 3rd section, which is going to help you. Oh, again, sorry, my spool just fell off. One moment while I catch it. It keeps getting caught, which is why that keeps happening, because it's almost out. All right, little buddy. All right, okay. So sorry about that. Okay, and now we're going forward. Oh, sorry. There we go, forward. And now we're gonna go, I think I went too far forward, but you do have to look at it, and I'm sitting really low. Now we're gonna switch to back to the front position, and we're just gonna do that. And that should, in theory, create sort of a buttonhole like shape. You see that? I was obviously very sloppy. I went too far, but that's what your buttonhole is going to be. So you're going backwards on your first one, then you're going to do your back piece. You're going to go now the opposite way, and then you're going to do your back piece again. So you're going to have to go back and forth in order to make a buttonhole. What else? That's about it, actually. So very simple, very self-explanatory, really good condition, really good quality machine. Let me show you also a sample of how it goes through thicker fabrics. Obviously, it's easy to do thin, but I can do thick. Okay, here is my son's, actually, his karate uniform. I've been kind of chopping pieces of this up. Okay, so this is his karate uniform. It's a heavy cotton. It's almost a jean, almost denim kind of fabric. So we'll just do our straight stitch as usual, and I'll go to a good size. Okay. All right. So we're going through our fabric. I'm just gonna jump this seam. Now we're gonna double this up. Okay, there we go. Hold on. All right, let's double this up. I need to get it in there. All right, lift. Okay. Double it up. Let's see if this one creates a chain. Yes, it does. I love this. All vintage machines do that. Modern machines, you try to do that, half the time they just tangle. Okay, so let me rip this. So watch. So here is what I've got so far. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to do another layer, and then we're going to go through that, and we'll just see how easily this baby can go through all this goodness. I would not call this a leather capable machine. I am sure it can fix basic leather, but I will not, I would not use it for that. You want to use this for, you know, like I said, swimwear, hemming, like quilting is great, all that. There, let me rip this off. Okay, so going through these layers. Again, it can take quite a few layers very easily. Okay. See? And create our chain. Okay. So I'm going to do this one more time. So again, you can go through heavy fabrics. All right, this is getting excessively thick, and I don't know if I can even shove this under the foot, but we're going to try. Come on, little buddy. There we go. Okay. Yep. The machine can handle it just fine. And we're coming off. As you see, look. No skip stitches, nothing. This machine is a workhorse. Again, I would not recommend it for leather or, you know, dog collars or things like that. But I do recommend it for jeans, for swimwear, for elastics, even heavy elastics. Those are great. Quilting, things of that sort. And the only reason is because, again, it's not a fully Metal Gear machine. So if you're gonna go over things, you know, thicker than this, you do run the risk of blowing the time. Oh, and the timing, actually, the drive gears are metal, but you still run the risk of blowing something, like damaging your gear change or things like that. So, you know, stick to things that are a reasonable size. Don't go trying to make shoes with this machine. It's not a cobbler. Okay, thank you so much for watching my video. And if you have any questions about this machine, please feel free to reach out and ask. Thank you so much.